Hey guys, welcome back to the Glory Living channel. My name is Hannah and today we are planting potatoes. Planting potatoes feels like the inauguration of gardening season because it is done about 4 weeks before our final frost, and it is just that little taste of gardening before the season ramps up. So guys, I'm excited to take you along today, give you some Potato 101 planting tips to help you successfully plant potatoes and have a great harvest, because guys, this is an easy vegetable and I think everybody should be growing it. All right, let's go check it out. It is sunny and rainy. It was raining on me while planting onions just a few minutes ago, and like the sun's going away. It has just been one of those wild weather days, and as is in Tennessee. So anyways, we're gonna get started. We're gonna go into our potato patch over here and we're gonna get started planting potatoes. A few weeks ago, I put a video out that showed me kind of preparing. Last year, I also did a video of our harvest, which we got a great harvest. We got 50 pounds of potatoes last year, and I was very surprised, super happy. We felt super blessed. Last year, we used a woven weed fabric over top of our potatoes to keep the weeds down. This year I am not doing that, and I'm hoping I'm not going to regret it. I just want to trench them because I think we can get even more if we do it kind of the old-fashioned proper way of growing these. Potatoes are a root vegetable. That means they are growing underground. They're amazing. We've all had potatoes start sprouting in our kitchen that we haven't gotten around to using. And when they do that, they start to produce little sprouts like that. This is cut up, but you can see the sprouts growing on the potato. And we're gonna take advantage of that today. This is the potato trying to reproduce. This is its seed. The potato itself is the seed. So you can plant small ones, you can cut up large ones, and anywhere there is this eye, that is going to be a potato plant. So when you go to plant potatoes, you might have a desire to just use the ones you have out of the kitchen. And I am never going to try and discourage somebody from doing something like that. A concern that some people have had over doing that is that you don't know whether that is going to be a potato that has any diseases it's carrying along with it, and that might cause you issues in your harvest. But I also know that that is going to be the most affordable way to do it. So I would definitely not discourage anybody from trying it. Just a heads up that it doesn't mean that they're not going to be carrying diseases. Here's the deal. Buying seed potatoes does not guarantee that you won't get some type of disease either, even though they're supposed to be certified like disease-free. So that's the other option, getting seed potatoes. That means you go to a seed company like Johnny Seeds or Burpees or wherever, and you order online or go to a local nursery, and they're gonna have what's called seed potatoes. These are really just gonna be potatoes that have eyes in them that you're gonna cut into like 1-inch pieces, or small ones you can plant whole, and you're gonna plant those, and those are supposed to be just a little more reliable as far as disease. Last year I bought some organic Kennebec potatoes from Johnny Seeds, the seed potatoes, and I planted about 30 plants here in our garden. I had some extras left over that I didn't get to that I wanted to save for baked potatoes, but you know what? They started sprouting pretty darn fast in our kitchen. I didn't have a great place to store them, to keep them cool and dry and out of light. I did the best I could, and it wasn't that great. So thankfully I had canned a ton, and so they didn't really go to waste. But what I'm also going to do is reuse these for my seed potatoes this year and keep doing that. I think that is going to be the most affordable way, and unless I get totally destroyed with diseases one year, then I'm going to keep doing this and just keep using my potatoes to create more potatoes, because that means that I can get hundreds of pounds of potatoes from one seed potato buy from last year, and that definitely will get your money back on buying your seed potatoes but then producing your own seed potatoes next year. So one item of preparation, if you do decide to save your own potatoes to do that, if you have large potatoes, you're going to want to chop them up as I have done. This is good if you have the larger potatoes. The smaller ones you can just plant whole. As you can see, this one is ready to go. It is just one little plant, one tiny potato, and I can just plant this whole. If you do cut them, one recommendation is to let after you've cut it, to dry out and kind of scab over. That is supposed to help prevent any rotting of the plant so that your plant grows healthy and it doesn't rot before it can shoot up through the dirt and produce a good plant for you. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I forgot to do that last year, and I left them in the sun while I got my holes prepared, and they were starting to dry off enough. I did them, everything was fine. I think I lost a few plants, but I don't know whether that had anything to do with me not leaving them to scab or not. Either way, I will tell you that I also, again, forgot today, and I cut them a little while ago, and they're still a little wet because they're also soft potatoes. So I think it'll all be fine. I'm kind of a shoot from the hip type of gal. You know, there's lots of rules, and those rules can be good and be followed and give you better success. But also sometimes you break all the rules and everything turns out even better. So we'll plant as many of our whole little potatoes as possible, and we'll plant these. You might also be tempted to plant just the entire potato. You can do that. It's not like it's not gonna work, but what you'll probably have more of is a bunch of smaller potatoes instead of larger potatoes. They're not gonna have as much room. You might be having multiple plants shoot up. That is going to cause crowding of your potatoes, and they're not gonna be able to grow as big because they're gonna be crowded and squished. So something to keep in mind when preparing your potatoes. Okay, so preparing the dirt. We have a lot of clay soil around here. That's just the way it is. But in this area, we have put down things like cardboard and straw and leaves over the years that has made it a little bit softer. And so I am planted potatoes here last year. I'm going to do it again this year. I have dug my trenches and they are probably at their deepest, maybe 8 inches deep. I am also additionally going to get my drill and my auger, and I am going to drill down further for planting the potatoes. Okay, so when it is time to plant, I have dug trenches throughout here, and like I said, they're about 8 inches deep. Some people might tell you to dig deeper. That's just how deep I went. The reason why you dig trenches is because you want to get some dirt up on the side, because the way potatoes grow, like I said, in the ground, is you're going to start hilling dirt on top of that plant as it grows taller. The reason is that plant is sending out those roots and growing those potatoes, and those potatoes will continue to get higher on the plant as the dirt continues to get higher on the plant. If the dirt does not get hilled on top of the plant, potatoes will be exposed and they'll turn green. And then if they turn green, you're not gonna wanna eat them. So what you do want is to continue to hill them and get those plants tall and continue to get the potatoes producing higher up on the plant. Let's get started planting our potatoes. Okay, so I have got our rows about 3 feet apart here, and you're gonna put your potato plants about 1 foot apart in your rows. So each potato plant in its own row will be about 1 foot apart, and each row will be about 3 feet apart. I am going to get the auger, and we're gonna drill about 3 inches deep into the ground and get our tubers started. You're gonna want a 3-inch hole into the ground when you put your seed potatoes in there. So I'm gonna get our auger. These are amazing. I can try and remember to put a link down below if you wanna check out on my Amazon. It is really great. We planted like 30 plants last year in like 5 minutes. So if you want to know how great it is. Okay, so like I said, I love this auger. I love how well it works. Okay, so we are going to dig our 3-inch holes in our trenches. Now, when we go to plant our potatoes in the ground, there is one other important step to note, and that is that you want your plant facing up. You do not want it to be facing that way. You want it to go this way. That's the way the plant is going to grow up to the sun. Okay, so make sure you face, and if you don't have this plant on here, like I do, the sprout, wherever your eye is on the potato, make it go up. Plant up and dust our dirt back over top of it. There we go. Well guys, our final step here, now that we have planted them and buried them, is to wait a few weeks for them to emerge. And as they emerge, they'll start to grow, and as they get to about 6 to 8 inches tall, that is when you're going to want to start hilling them. You're gonna hill them about 4 inches higher, leaving about 4 inches of plant above the ground. You don't want it to get too deep. You want the plant to still have plenty of green showing so the sun can make it want to grow more. So do not dig them too tall, but also you want to make sure that your tubers, which are the potatoes growing underground, are getting covered and not turning green. You're going to continue to do this. Potatoes take anywhere between like 90 to 100 days. Around there, you are going to start seeing your potatoes die back. Once you see them die back, you can either cut off the plants or get ready to dig them up. Honestly, potatoes can be harvested sooner for smaller potatoes, but if you want larger ones, you're gonna wanna wait longer for digging them up. Guys, thank you again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends and your family. And as always, please subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support us in creating this content for you. Until next time, guys, we'll see you soon.